I want to thank y'all so much for 50K on YouTube. So let's get to the Q&A. Good morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style, and now natural hair care and hair care topics. So if you were into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So if I haven't said it before, I want to give you guys a huge thank you. My channel has essentially taken off and I am so grateful. So my goal for this year is to reach 100K. So there are a lot of questions. So let's just go ahead and get started. This might be a long video, so I don't want to dilly-dally anymore. I'm going to go through the Instagram questions first, and then we will get to the YouTube questions. So the very first one, are you still interested in starting a podcast? I absolutely am. And let me make sure I'm getting the date right, because the first episode will be premiering on February 6th of 2025. I already have 2 episodes pre-filmed. The reason why they have not come out and I pushed it back is because with what I'm trying to do with the talk show / podcast, I want it to be professional. I am a perfectionist, but I also understand that this is my first time doing something like this. There were a couple of things that I got wrong, so I'm working with a professional to see if they can kind of edit and change it a little bit, because everything y'all see besides what you will see in the podcast is me. Everything that is edited, every photo, it's all me. So I'm still learning as I'm going, but I am so excited about it. And I did post a video about starting a podcast last year. I want to say like a midway, but yes, I'm very excited about it. And basically the premise is the exact same premise for this, the reason why I started content creation and the reason for my YouTube channel and for Instagram. I just want our young women to know that they are beautiful, fully clothed. I know a lot of people take issue with the word modesty, but modesty doesn't mean frumpy. It doesn't mean depressed. It doesn't mean oppressed. You can still be a fashion girl and you can still be modest or still be covered or conservative. I'm in for 2024. If you saw that video, I will link it down below. I went to New York and I had a full circle moment. So in 2024, I wanted to make sure that I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And then here with the podcast, and then here with the hair event and just my content creation, in 2025, I'm just going to be delusional. I already have a list of people that I want to have conversations with, and there's some pretty big names, but there are specific things that I want to talk to them about. But I am so grateful to the first 2 ladies who decided to do the interview, and today I reached out to 4 more people. So I'm very excited. I just have a lot of ideas when it comes to the podcast. But like I said, basically that is the premise. And to just let our young women know that they can still be loved, seen, and successful and still handle themselves like a lady. All right. Next question. Do you get flat hair after sleep? How do you prevent it? So I'm assuming you're talking about jumbo twist and or mini twist. So yes, I do. That is going to be inevitable. But one of the ways that I have found that it won't go flat, or that it doesn't get flat the next day, is wrapping it around my head instead of just putting on like a long scarf and just tying it backwards, because you're laying like this or you're laying like this. It's going to happen faster. So basically what I do is I just split my hair or my twist down the middle. I take this side and I wrap it this way with bobby pins, and then I wrap it this way with bobby pins. So essentially it's like a cross in the back. I bobby pin it. You guys know I don't do bonnets, but I just take like a silk scarf and I just wrap it that way. That is going to help alleviate some of that. It's still going to get flat, but at least it won't be flat it won't be flat the next day. If you are a wash and go girly, I would suggest to you the pineapple method. And basically what that is you just take your hair and you flip it over this way. You tie your scarf like this, and then you can put a bonnet on, or you can put some type of cover on top of it. But it's inevitable. Eventually they will get flat. The other way to alleviate that is to just re-wet your hair. Your curls to just go back up. Okay, next question. What do you use for your edges? So I currently use the Curls Blueberry Control Paste, and I will link that down below. That is the only thing that I use. Next question. Once you reach your hair goals, what would be next for you as far as your hair or something else? So my hair goals, and I will link that video down below, but my hair goal is basically when my hair is blown out with the Rev Air on the cool setting, I basically want it to touch wherever it is I'm sitting. So whether that's the ground, the couch, or a chair, keep it stretched, put it in 2 braids and just wrap it around my head. I think it'd be really pretty to wear it like that for a while. So once I reach that goal, my next goal, or what I will do, is just maintenance, basically to just maintain, make sure my ends are intact and make sure that my hair is moisturized. Next question, please can we get how to share or start this Chebe journey? Absolutely. So I go live every other Friday on Instagram, and I literally show you how I apply the Chebe powder traditionally. I will also link down below the actual Chebe playlist that I have here on YouTube. Do you think you will ever go back to using a traditional blow dryer if your Rev Air goes out, or would you immediately buy another Rev Air? At this point, I would immediately buy another one. I hope it doesn't go out, but I would buy another one. And I understand there's controversy going on right now, but for me, it's so much easier. And as I stated in that video, the purpose for me for the Rev Air is to make sure that my hair is dry and to stretch my hair some. I do not like bone straight hair. Y'all know that I love big hair. Y'all know that I love thick hair. Would you keep your hair, or while your hair is blown out / straightened, what do you do to keep your hair from reverting while taking a shower? This is the question that I got a lot when I did my 30-day challenge in 2023. So every year for my hairversary, I straighten my hair, and then in 2023, I did a challenge to keep my hair straight for 30 days. Y'all loved it. I loved doing it as well. So I can't really answer this question because I don't care. I straighten my hair for 30 days, or I straighten my hair to get a good trim and for something different for 30 days. Unfortunately for me, the last time I straightened my hair, by day 9, my edges and my roots had already reverted. And again, unfortunately for me, one of the first places that I begin to sweat is my scalp. I just don't care. So I don't have any tips for you. Okay, this next question, your fashion style is similar to what I want to achieve. It's modest, elegant, and fabulous. Thank you. I was wondering, how can I attain such a look on a budget? I'm a college student. Completely understand. So one of the things that I'm going to say is Salvation Army, thrift stores. I remember I went to Norfolk State, go Spartans. There was a thrift store down the street on Sundays. It was called Grab Bag Sundays, and they used to give us these huge black trash bags, and anything that you could fit in there was the entire bag was $5. That is where I did get some of my clothing from, because just going into the thrift store, they have a lot of unique things and a lot of things that are no longer in production. So the first thing is going to be thrift stores. The next one is going to be sample sales, and of course sales, but also look at H&M. Also look at Mango, and also look at Forever 21. Also look at Zara. There are pieces in Zara that are quality. For instance, look for something that is 100% wool or merino wool. Look for a shirt that is 100% cotton. It's not always. Even Target has really done a great job of revamping their fashion, and the fashion girlies at this point love Walmart. Try Walmart. But I would say to you, one of the first things to check out, especially in your area, is the thrift store. You can actually find a lot of quality pieces in the thrift store. Also TJ Maxx and Marshalls. One of the things that I did when I was in college is that I would buy stuff from the thrift store, and I got like a little sewing machine, and I just kind of like did my own thing. So if I didn't like something, I would take it in. If I didn't like a button, I would take it off, and I would put I would put another button on there. It's just little things that you can do. But as far as the budget, I absolutely understand. The other thing that we used to do in college, if you and some of your girlfriends are the same size, is to have a swap party. We would just go into each other's closets, and we would, just go from dorm room to dorm room, and we would swap things out. We would like the grape sparkling cider. We would make like an afternoon of it, and we would just kind of like swap clothes. Of course, you're going to wash it first, but that's another way. Also, hop on Pinterest, because a lot of times, sometimes we have so much that we actually feel like we have nothing to wear. Hop on Pinterest, look at some of your favorite fashionistas, and just look to them for inspiration, because more than likely you have a piece in your closet that resembles what they're wearing or what they're putting together. I keep thinking of stuff. So this is going to be important for you since you are on a budget. I want you to take into consideration the 3 wear rule, or the 3 rule. What does that say, or what does that mean? So when you are going to these places, since you are on a budget and you are shopping, you and your friend are hanging out, y'all are having a great time. You find the world's most beautiful budget friendly top. You go into the dressing room, you try it on, and you love it. before you put your clothes back on and before you check out with that top, I want you to sit in the dressing room. Think of 3 ways immediately that you can wear that top or pants with things that you already have in your closet. I want you to think of at least 3 ways. And I know you might love the top, and I know it might be a statement top. I know you might want it, but I want you to, if you can't think of 3 ways immediately, I probably say like within the next 5 minutes, I want you to consider leaving it in the store. Why do I say that? Number one, because you said that you're on a budget and you also want to look put together. We want to make sure that our closet is working for us. But the reason why I say 3 times or 3 ways to wear it is because when you take that top home, it's likely going to sit in your closet. Because you are in a state of excitement and you really like the top, you're not actually thinking about if it actually fits within your aesthetic or if it fits within your closet. So that's another thing. For the rest of these questions, in this comment section, in this video, email me and I will answer the rest of these questions. I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, what prompted you to start your YouTube channel originally? Actually, I was prompted, or the reason why I even started content creation was because of a bad breakup, and then I just decided to extend it to YouTube to get my voice out there even more and to just get my message out there. I know you mentioned starting a head wrap line, but do you see yourself branching out from there to other accessories? I know you love statement earrings as well. Yes, I do. I love statement earrings, not so much statement earrings. So what we will also be releasing in conjunction with the head wraps is my infamous, or at this point, my famous headband. I have 2 ideas with that I'm going to be releasing, and then I have a couple of ideas when it comes to the head wraps, a couple of just like little innovative things. What I do want to branch into, not necessarily statement jewelry, but statement hair pieces. Y'all know that I love those, but one of the issues that I find, and the reason why you guys continuously see the same ones, is simply because of the attachment. A lot of the ones that I love, they have like that clip that you just kind of like pop open, like it's like a button right here and it just kind of like pops open. That can wreak havoc on a natural hair, and then just the ones that are like the combs. So I'm looking at a couple of ways to be able to have more ornate ones or more simple ones without it catching in your hair. So not necessarily earrings, but yes, the headbands, head wraps, and hair pieces. Congratulations, you have beautiful hair. Thank you. What's your recommendation for fixing thin edges, gaining a strong hairline? So you probably can't see it right here, and it's covered up right here, but just me personally, I have always had, and people keep talking about no one has baby hairs, they have full grown hairs. That's fine. I don't know if you can see it, but like right here and then like right here, I just have like this triangle of literally just baby hairs. And then right here, I get questions and comments all the time talking about my full hairline. The very first thing that I'm going to tell you is to stop with the tight ponytails and the tight hairstyles. We're all aware of traction alopecia. Black women suffer from it more than anybody else. You have to stop with the tight hairstyles. That also includes the slicking back of the hair. I'm not saying you have to stop doing it, but just be aware of it. I know everyone is loving the knotless braids right now, but those also contribute. Low manipulation, low manipulation. Leave your hair alone. Other things that you can use are essential oils. I will link some of those down below. You can also do some Ayurveda. There's amla, there's fenugreek, there's moringa. There's a whole bunch of things that you can use, but the number one thing that you have to stop doing is pulling your hair very tight. The other thing, if you notice your hair is thinning, whether it's in the top, whether it's in the back, or whether it's just in general and at your hairline, you guys already know what I'm going to say to you. Get your levels checked. Vitamin D and iron, and consult your doctor. My question is, would you ever consider locking your hair since you do a lot of mini twists? Why or why not take care? So I have never thought of locking my hair or getting dreads. I like the versatility of my hair. Yes, you guys see me do the twists and you guys see me do the braids and the jumbo twists, but I don't personally, and I think they're beautiful. I am Jamaican. I think they are absolutely beautiful, but I would never do it for myself. I love the versatility. For someone just starting their natural hair journey and no longer trusted people to cut or do anything with their hair, what natural homemade products would you recommend for low porosity hair? I have 4C and right now my hair is very low. I also wanted to know, where do you buy or get your head wraps from because I want to get more head wraps. So the head wraps that I buy are from Amazon. I also buy them from Mobs. I buy them from YGN, but at the time that I'm filming this video, YGN has stopped production. And then I also buy from Modern Day Classic. And then, as I said before, I will be introducing or debuting my own head wrap collection. So for as far as someone transitioning, trust me, I understand. Most people know how I feel about hairstylists in general. But as far as transitioning and you have 4C hair, I personally don't go by texture, I go by porosity. So you say that you have low porosity hair. So what does that mean? We know that low porosity hair, when it comes to moisture, we know that it's hard to get in to the hair strand, but we know that once the moisture gets into the hair strand, it takes a while for it to come out. So one of the things that we want to make sure that we're doing is that we are using oils. I know what's going on with the whole no oils and no butters thing, but we want to make sure that we are using light oils. We also want to make sure that we can either steam, we can do the greenhouse effect. And because you have low porosity hair, you might also notice that number one, it takes your hair forever to dry, which is me. And then also you might notice that products just sit on your hair. So when it comes to applying your products, you want to make sure that your hair, or that you are warming up your hair, whether that be with a steamer, whether that be with the greenhouse effect, or whether that be just using warm water. Warm water and heat tends to open the hair cuticle, because we know that when we have low porosity hair, the hair cuticles are tightly packed together. What type of products should you use? You should use light products, because remember, when you have low porosity hair, moisture is very hard to get in. So we want to make sure that the products that we are using penetrate the hair shaft. The other thing that is going to be your friend is deep conditioning. But remember, when you are using the deep conditioner, to warm it up so we can get those cuticles open. I deep condition every single time I wash my hair, and that is every 2 weeks. And then when it comes to your shampoo, you just want to make sure that your shampoo is not leaving like a residue on your hair. And then what I will do for the shampoo, the conditioner, the deep conditioner, I will link down below, or I will put some below, some suggestions. And then what I will do in the description, I will link some shampoos, conditioners, stylers, and all of that I like for low porosity hair. I want to know ways to keep my hair stretched while looking presentable. I will be wearing a headset, so head wraps aren't an option. Understandable. If you are into head wraps, you don't necessarily have to do the one that I do on top of my head, but you can do like the turban style. But as far as presentable, these at this point, these twists I want to say are a week old, so I do need to do my Chebe application. So you can do something as simple as this. You can do a low bun, you can do a top knot, you can do what we have dubbed the classic crown. And basically what you do is you just take your twist and or braids, and you just twist them and braid them to the back of your hair, and then pin them up. So I use the Headwrap to keep my hair stretched, and then I put my hair in braids and or twist. The truth of the matter is that even though your hair is stretched, it's still going to, especially when you start adding products, because remember, we want to keep our hair moisturized. So eventually you are going to have to re-moisturize your hair. Even when my hair is stretched and I apply products for the second or for the third time, your hair is going to draw up a little bit. So what I will say is that just make sure that when you are twisting your hair or braiding your hair, just make sure you're doing it neatly. Some people, they keep their hair in the twist and in the braids, and then they style it like that. But if you also are going to do that at night and then you take it out in the morning, I would say just style it as normal. Also, bantu knots. Some people use bantu knots to keep their hair stretched. And another thing that you can do, because I did this one time when I banded my hair. So you said you're like right above shoulder length. So what was really pretty, what I did was I took like black bands, if you're aware of the banding method, and basically you just put bands all the way down your hair to keep your hair stretched. And literally what I did was I banded my hair. I took this side of my hair and I put it this way, and then I put this side of my head and I pinned it this way. I didn't even take them out, and it looked so pretty because it was like, there was volume because I had the bands on there. So you just kind of like brush this down some, kind of give you like a Princess Leia look, or kind of like one of those crown looks, and you couldn't even tell. So if you have brown hair, of course you're going to use brown ones, or try to find bands that actually, or that mimic the color of your hair, and you won't even have to take it out. Now make sure you do re-moisturize your hair when you need to. But I kept my hair like that for like 4 days, and then I would take it out, and then I would just re-moisturize, and then I would just wrap it around my head again. Which YouTubers have helped or inspired you the most on your natural hair journey? Oh gosh, so I hopped on YouTube University, I want to say when Natural 85 started, when I think it's Eb's Curl TV or Ebony's Curly TV. The other one that loves the Ayurveda, oh gosh, I can't think of her. It's not Indigenous Strands, love her, but oh gosh, I can't think of her name. Curly Proverbs. Those are the three that I typically started watching, and they gave me a wealth of information. And then I found Green Beauty. She comes at it from a very scientific perspective, and I love it. I will link all of their channels down below. Okay, you confidently and beautifully wear your head wraps, but was that always the case? So I started wearing head wraps, I would probably say in, David and I met in 2018. I started wearing them in 2020. I started wearing them in 2020. It was never a confidence issue for me. Because I understand, and I've said this before, my mother always raised me when it came to my natural hair and when it came to my complexion. She would just always let me know that it was beautiful just the way that it was. There's nothing wrong with any other race or ethnicity, but it's just different. It's a cultural thing. So for me, it was never, I never felt not confident stepping outside of my house. Now, do I get looks and do I get stares and do I get questions? Absolutely. But I have never faltered in my confidence, and that probably comes from my mother. But there was no adjustment period. If someone has a question about the head wrap, I have no issues answering the question. They're curious. And I've never, it's never been an issue for me. What I will say is start with your head wrap. Start with, I would probably say, one of your favorite colors, or start with black. Something that matches your hair so that when you're out, it doesn't necessarily bring attention. Because I can tell you right now, if you have on a yellow top and you have on a yellow head wrap, that's going to bring attention to you. But what I will say is either start with your favorite color or start with a color that closely matches your hair. Did you ever go into an office with them on? And if so, did you receive any pushback? I did not, but what I will say is check your code of conduct, ask your manager, and then also check your dress code. It really should not be that much of an issue. By the time I started wearing head wraps, I was working remotely. How did you work up the courage to wear them without having a religious reason? Unless you did and I am off base. And explain to people who have questioned it. So it was not a religious reason. At this point, head wraps make me feel regal. They make me feel beautiful. My husband is a part of NOI, but there has never been any coercion. There has never been, you have to do this, you have to do that. I do dress conservatively, so that's okay. But on his part, there has never been any coercion. So it's not a religious reason. They just make me feel beautiful. Now, as far as the sugar, I have definitely lowered my sugar intake. What I struggle with is chocolate chip cookies, and ice cream. So what I do is I try not to keep them in the house, and then every so often I will buy it, I will eat it, and then I will put it away. And also, what is your workout routine? So I am not currently working out. I am currently underweight. I have lost quite a bit of weight, so my doctor said that I cannot actually work out. And then my husband has put me on a fattening up plan. So once I get back to that, I will be able to start working out again. And the reason why I say that is because my appetite has been very scarce, and then I have a very high metabolism. So if you couple that with working out in the way that I work out, that's not a good combination. So when I was working out, when I was a gym rat, it was anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. Next set of questions. Are you cleansing your scalp in between washes? I am not. So whatever you guys see me apply to my hair, whether it's the Chebe mixture or the Chebe grease, that is it. For 2024, I gave my scalp a rest because in 2023, I was putting a whole bunch of oils on my scalp. So I am not cleansing my scalp in between washes. I cleanse my scalp on wash day, which is every 2 weeks. What are you using as your scalp cleanser, and how do you go about using it? So I am currently using the tea tree shampoo. I will link that down below, and that's it. I cleanse my scalp out of the shower, and that's it. Just keep it simple. That's the only thing that I've used. I have never used a chelating shampoo. I've never used a cleansing shampoo, and I have not had any issues. Also, would you consider using only flaxseed gel only on your ends? So I was getting this question a lot over the weekend on Instagram. I've tried flaxseed gel. We are not friends. Do you use satin lined head wraps? So the 4 that I have from YGN, which is also You Go Natural, there's like a silky material on the outside, and then they are like a silky texture lined. So those, yes. As far as the solid jersey knits ones that you see me buy from Instagram, those are not satin lined. So what I do is I take like an actual, like just like a strip or like a long piece of satin material, and I wrap that first and then I put that on there. So no, all of my head wraps are not satin lined, but that is one of my ideas for my head wrap line. What are your tips for transitioning hair? So I believe I answered this question in the last one, but the first thing that I'm going to tell you when you are transitioning is mindset. Your mindset, especially during transitioning, is going to play a major role in how successful you are. If no one has told you your natural hair is beautiful, and congratulations, but your mindset is going to play a huge part. I'm not saying it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying you're not going to falter. I'm not saying you're not going to get frustrated. Find a YouTuber or someone who can help you, who has a simple routine, and you can stick to it. The next thing I'm going to say is, because I did not big chop, you can transition or you can do a big chop and have a TWA, which stands for teeny weeny afro. So for me, I did not big chop. I just continuously or gradually cut my hair. And basically the issue with that is the demarcation point. The demarcation point is basically where the new growth or the natural hair is, and it meets the relaxed ends. At some point, even when it was gradual, you're still going to have to cut it off because you're going to be dealing with 3 different textures, and that can become very frustrating. And those 3 different textures might need 3 different products. And the reason why I say that is because you'll have some hair that is growing and it will still have the relaxed ends. That's 1 texture, that's 2 texture. But then what you will begin to notice if you are growing your hair out is that the actual relaxed ends at that demarcation point will begin to fall off, and that's going to be a new texture that's going to have different concerns, or that are going to have different concerns or different needs. And the reason why I say it's going to be a different texture is because when you have this hair here that's growing out and the relaxed ends are still attached, once you cut those off, your texture might actually change. Your support system. There are a lot of women, when they choose to go natural, there are people who are going to make comments. There are people who are given ultimatums, whether that be family members, whether that be significant others. I know someone who's given an ultimatum and they are no longer together. But just make sure that you have a support system around you. A lot of people tend to think that hair is very vain, but it is actually, for me personally, I do think that there is a deeper connection. And when you are going on a journey like that, because it can be daunting, and for some it can be traumatic, especially if you do a TWA. A lot of women will go into the mirror, look, and they'll say, what have I done? And you might be doubting yourself. And then to have people around you who are just constantly making comments, you might do something in the heat of that you might regret. So just have a support system around you, and I wish you the best on your journey. So for transitioning hair, and like I said before, I did not do a big chop. So what helped me was at night I would wet my hair with water, of course, and then some type of moisturizer, and I would just braid my hair. For me, once I did that and took my hair out, the new natural hair and the relaxed hair kind of matched itself, and then I would just pull my hair back, whether that was a low bun, a top bun, like a middle ponytail, or anything like that. But the reason why I did that, because I wanted to keep my length, but I also didn't want the relaxed ends to break off. They eventually will, because the hair is just going to be so weakened, but that's what helped me transition. And then just gradually I just cut. And as I said before, you are eventually going to have to cut it. It's just a matter of where you are comfortable cutting it. When I cut my hair, it was like right here, and that was the shortest that my hair had ever been. I was nervous and I was scared, but at the same time I felt free. Also, what do you think about using Chebe brands that have made products formulated with Chebe and other Aryuvedic things, rather than making paste pure at home? Either one. You guys know, but I am always going to go to the natural first. So whether that's me just buying Chebe powder and then doing my Chebe mixture like I have, or if you're going to go to a brand who already has the Chebe in there. I personally have only used 2 brands. I have used the Dara Body Works, which is what I've been using. They have Chebe powder and they have Chebe grease. And then for the Chebe powder, I am using Sahel Cosmetics. If you are looking for something that is more commercial and more readily available, I would suggest to use Salwa Peterson. She is now in Target, and I will link that down below. But either one works. For me, once I actually finish the Chebe journey, Chebe will be a part of my journey for the foreseeable future. But more than likely, what I will do is I will probably use the Chebe grease that I have been using excuse me, and then I would probably go the DIY route. So either one. A lot of people like DIY, but they simply don't have the time. So either one, okay? How long did it take you to see growth in your channel when you just started? So I believe I started in 2020, and it took about, for me, it took about a year. That video that I did about the young woman who said, do not bring your natural hair to my event, is what really helped my channel, and it has been growing steadily ever since. Have you tried Odara Chebe hair oil? I have not. No matter what form the Chebe is in, should it not be put on the scalp, correct? So here's the thing with the Chebe and the Chebe products. So Chebe powder, no. There are people who do use it as a deep conditioner. The only thing that I'm going to say about that is please, 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 please make sure that you thoroughly rinse your scalp. Here's the reason why I say that. Chebe powder is in its natural form, and it is a known irritant. The women of Chad, the Basara women of that tribe, they don't even put it on their scalp. I want you to remember that Chebe is a length retention aid. It is not a growth aid. Also, the reason why you do not put it on your scalp, we know that it's a known irritant, but it can actually clog your pores. And we know that when it comes to a healthy scalp and a healthy hair journey, we cannot have clogged follicles. So for the powder, if you are going to use it as a deep conditioner, please rinse it thoroughly. Now, as far as Chebe products, you have two different Chebe products. You have Chebe products that just insert, or they do put Chebe in their actual product. The Chebe grease that I am using, the Dara Bar Works, there are actually pieces of Chebe in there, and then more than likely she probably infuses it. Then you have other companies who have the oils and the butters and the creams. More than likely that is infused. Here is what I'm going to say. This is my personal opinion. Whenever there is a Chebe product that I am going to be using, whether it has been infused or whether there are pieces of Chebe in it and they also infuse it, I personally am not putting it on my scalp. The reason why, y'all know that I love doing my hair. I find doing it very therapeutic. However, my wash day is a wash day, and I am not willing to risk to put an oil or a cream or a butter on my scalp only for it to start irritating my scalp to the point where I have to take a shower or rewash my hair. So what I will say to you is that if you do want to apply the more modern type of Chebe, do a patch test. Do not just buy a Chebe product and start applying it to your scalp. Please do not do that. Please do a patch test. So I say all of that to say, for the Chebe powder, no. For actual modernized Chebe products, it's going to be a personal decision. Do you think it's okay to apply the Chebe grease before blow drying hair, or does it have to be rinsed out first? So when it comes to grease, I'm never going to tell you to apply grease and then blow dry your hair. The reason I ask is because I keep my hair braided with knotless braids, and before I get them done, I would like to apply the grease before I blow dry my hair. I'm not sure if this is okay to leave the Chebe grease on my hair when heat is applied. I would not do that. I'm the wrong person to ask about care when it comes to knotless braids. When it comes to the application, what I will say is just take a little bit and apply it to your hair. Now, I don't know whether or not you are actually blowing your hair out and then applying the knotless braids, or if you're blowing your hair out and then flat ironing. Like I said, I'm the wrong person to ask. But if you are going to do that, apply it to your hair before you actually install the extensions.
We always have it coming.